Bogdan, we're gonna start. Huh?
Did you do the one online now?
It's time to start. Are you coming?
Oh yeah, did you do the acorns on? Oh, and this fell down.
Yes, I did the acorns on yours. Don't shake the table much because look, see what happens?
Yeah.
Shakes my camera and then... Please stop.
I'm gonna tell everybody the same things you usually do.
Like what?
Hi, I'm Lula Carlson.
Of course.
Stuff. Bye.
Well, these people know who I am. This is the second painting, so they've been here before.
I'm sure no.
Okay, we've got Reese joining. Hi. Do not touch Bogdan, please. Okay, you should be able to hear me. We're gonna start in a couple of minutes. I don't think we're gonna have a big crowd today. It's Labor Day. Most people are holidaying.
Is it coming out of
Can
there?
you please, Bogdan, I need you to stay in your spot and do what we're doing, okay? And not mess with my things, because this is not gonna end well. Oh, there she is. Hi, Reese.
You're on mute.
Well, yes, and that's fine. Okay, well, while we're waiting for everybody else, I can tell you that we are going to need black today. Black, green, and then colors. If you added leaves, did you add leaves to your pumpkin? Oh, pretty! So,
These are mine.
yes, here, Bogdan wants you to see his. This is Bogdan's.
Gimme.
Yeah. Okay, girl, looks like you're my only one today, huh? Yay! You ready to paint? Yes, me too. Bogdan, are you ready to paint?
Bye-bye.
Yes, you are.
Blah,
Okay, let me see. Maybe I could turn this on so that maybe you could see Bogdan too, since you're just the only guys here. Can you see him? Probably not his.
Another one coming.
Do not touch, please.
I was gonna lift them in. Okay.
Alright. So Bogdan's painting. Let me see, maybe I can adjust his. What could I use? Maybe. Let me see if I could use a stack of paper and just put it up a little bit so Bogdan can. There. Now you can see. All right. Okay, well, good morning. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to start. We're going to start with the leaves and the acorns. Okay?
I didn't add leaves.
Well, you asked not to, so I didn't put any on yours. Because you didn't want them, right? Okay. So the top of the acorn is going to be black.
What brush do I use?
And the acorn itself can be brown. Let me find some brown for Bogdan.
Which brush do I use?
And you're gonna use a small brush, small flat brush.
Oh, this one.
Small flat. And you're gonna grab a little bit of water first.
Oops.
A little bit of water first on your brush. And then a little bit of paint like this.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, and I need to find mine.
Is the top supposed to be black?
Yes, so let's paint the tops of our acorns. We're gonna make them black. So I'm loading, here we go. I'm loading my brush. So today we're working in my studio because Benjamin decided he didn't want to paint with us today. And so we are, Bogdan and I are sharing. No, do not rinse off the brush. Use the same brush and now get brown.
Well, while it has a tiny bit of black on it?
Yes, while it has a tiny bit of black on
it. Like this much brown?
It's too much.
Okay. This good?
Yes. And so, yes, so Bogdan and I are sharing our palette. I figured that would be okay. Did I just see somebody say something? No, I did not. It blinks because my microphone's off in that area. Okay. So the black tops and the brown acorn. And just as I said, once you've done your black top for the acorn, do not rinse your brush. Just go in and grab some brown on it.
Do you like my acorns?
Yeah. And
May I paint black? May I paint brown on the stem?
You want to use your liner brush for that. For the stem. The stems are very tiny.
I want to do it.
So we're gonna do that. Okay.
Where do I put this in the water?
Bogdan, I really need you to listen to instructions. I'm not that fast, honey. Okay? So please let me finish my acorns and then I will tell you what to do next. Okay? Can we please do that? All right. So just brown. We're gonna get back to this brown later and we're gonna add a little bit of highlight to your acorns so that they look a little bit more like acorns. Okay, so I am a turner. I turn my paper all the time, my surface.
No.
I never... Okay. Here come the acorn. If you have leaves, I suggest you start with yellow and then maybe add oranges or red or even a little bit of brown to your leaves.
I'll see the green leaving.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking? I have this whole stack of leaves, if I remember where they are. Okay, keep working on your acorns and your leaves. Okay?
So may I do the stem?
You may get some water.
Oh.
Hold on, that brown is way too thick. Now, if your paint is thick, let me show you what thick paint looks like. Like this. It is thick. My brown is very thick.
My brown.
We need to thin it out to make so that the liner brush works well with it. So you're gonna need to add water to it. Okay? Here, Bogdan. Hold on, give me just 1 minute. Here they are.
They're only supposed to do it up here. You only I'm just using the liner brush so I can do the stem of the acorn.
Okay. So here's what I wanted to show you for your leaves. You can just start with yellow and then add red a little bit on the edges, right? You can start with more orange and add brown spots over here. See how different they look? And this one is mostly orange, and then you could use a dry brush with brown. And if you guys been with me since the very beginning, so this is like class 5, I think, you know what I mean when I say dry brush, right?
I don't.
And if not, put it in the chat box. I haven't done the whole spiel about the chat box and clicking the push pin so that you know, so that you can see me full screen, because this is not our first rodeo. You are my regulars, so you know what to do, right? Okay. So, I'm bringing it up in the camera. I have 2 small maple leaves. So I'm gonna paint them. I'm gonna start with yellow, which I don't even have prepared yet. But then you're gonna have to wait because you don't have any leaves, okay? Okay, make sure your brush is clean. See, I was washing your brush. What did I do to my brush? Oh, it's in the top. Okay. So, let me go find some yellow.
That looks like a lot.
There's a big jar.
Oh, so it's a jar. It says a can.
Okay. So I'm gonna use yellow and red. Here, I'm gonna put my plate here so you can see what I'm doing. Yellow and red. Okay. So first I'm gonna put yellow on my leaves. If you don't have leaves, if you're already done with your acorns, just, you know, bear with us while we're working on our leaves, okay? So it looks like my leaves are gonna take more coats of yellow than one, because everything's showing through. All right, let me show you how to start. No, not start yet. Hold on, not the lettering yet. Let's do the vines first. So those curlicues that come out of the stems, if your leaves are done, you can start working on that. So you're gonna need some red, and you're gonna need your liner brush. I mean, did I say red?
Yeah.
Oops, I meant green.
What did you put red on your plate?
That's for the leaves. I'm gonna use green for the vine. So put a little bit of green on your palette. Use your liner brush, very thin brush. Make it wet. Take a little bit of green.
Like this?
Yes. And starting from the stem, you're just gonna trace. Don't push too hard on it. But you're just gonna kind of bring this over. Bogdan, did you look what I did? You can also see over here, you have a screen right in front of you.
You know.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do the same thing again. Just to make sure that I have the color where I need it.
I already lost paint when I just got into the first
If you don't have enough paint, you can stop and you then refill your brush and come back. The best way to do this is to make sure you have water on your brush before you load it with paint. And this way it will work through the whole thing. Okay? So here's my, hold on, here's my liner brush. I dip it in my water. Whoop. So it's dripping. It's real wet. And then I load it up with paint. See, it's all full. And now I'm gonna turn my picture because it's easier for me this way. So I'm gonna turn it upside down and I'm gonna do the other curlicue. So it starts by the stem. I'm not gonna paint through my acorns. So I'm gonna skip the acorns and go do the other one. Bogdan, do you see what I did?
Oh, I didn't know. No, I didn't.
So I turned my picture upside down. Turn your picture upside down. Okay. And then use your liner brush and do this curlicue on the bottom.
One's a Q.
It's curlicue. Okay. Goes all the way down. And then I'm gonna turn it the right side up again. And now I'm gonna do the curlicue on the bottom. Again, water, wet brush goes into green paint, load, water, water. Your brush is too dry, that's why it's not doing what you want it to do. Okay.
Yeah, I did it correctly.
And I'm gonna go again for the bottom. Just like that. Okay, Bogdan, turn this the right side up.
What?
Here, use my liner if you want to. Use this one.
Bottoms.
Let me see. I'm sure I have another something that I can use to do lines. Here I have another one. All right. How are we doing?
Is this enough paint? Or is it dry enough?
Before you get paint, you need to get water. Water and then paint. So this is something we're going to be doing for our lettering also. So every time you refill your brush, you're going to need to make it wet.
What if it's dripping wet?
Because then this water will go into your paint and it will make your paint move a lot more smoothly for you. Sorry, I keep bumping into my camera, so I hope nobody's getting motion sick because my pumpkin's shaking. Okay, and the last curlicue on the bottom. And we're gonna move on to the lettering.
Yeah, wash my brush.
Yes, wash your brush if you've done all the curlicues. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, and while it's drying, I'm gonna go and finish my leaves real fast. So if you have your leaves, that would be a great time to finish them. And the liner brush is not the best brush to do this. I don't know why I'm doing this with my liner brush. Probably because that's what I had in my hand, huh? Definitely not the best brush for this. Oh well. So, just like so. And I'm gonna, as I'm doing my leaf, I'm gonna pull from the outside in. And then when it's dry, I'm gonna add the skeleton for the leaf, the lines that go inside of the leaf. We're gonna use brown for that, okay? All right. Okay, so I know I promised you guys a craft for the next week, and I mentioned a corn wreath, but I tried that technique that I was looking at, and it really didn't come very well. It didn't came very messy and not much of it. So I'm gonna still keep trying and see if I can figure out how to make that work. So instead, we're gonna make the apples full of a basket full of apples. So we're gonna do stamping with apples. The event is already on Facebook, and I did send a short email this morning that has the link to it, so you know what to do. Okay, rinse out your brush, lettering time. So for lettering, we are going to use the small liner brush. Okay. And we're gonna dip, make it wet. Make it wet. Get some black on it. Now if your brush looks like this, hold on, I'll show you. If your brush looks like this after you put paint on it, you see how a blob of paint on there? That's not right. Okay, that means that your paint is too thick.
Thanks. Thank you.
Stop moving. Okay, so your paint is too thick. So you want to clean up your brush with a paper towel. And you want to put some water into your black paint. Okay, I'm moving across the camera and the table all the time, so hold on, give me a sec. Here, see how I'm dropping water from my brush? Drop. Can you see the drops? Hope you can. Drop, drop.
I can see it.
Drop, drop.
Yep.
Okay, and then I'm gonna stir lightly. Don't push it too hard. Stir lightly. And then I'm gonna look at my brush. Is it still a glob of paint? Yep. I don't like that. I need to put more water in there. So if we don't do this, then our lettering will come out chunky and messy, and we do not want that. So I'm adding a little bit more water to this. Still too thick. More and more. And sometimes it takes a while to adjust the paint to make sure that you have the right thickness. Oy. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this little bit of paint here and I'm gonna move it to the other side. I know you guys are waiting. It takes time. You don't need a lot of paint to do the lettering, you just need to water it down. So I moved it to the other side so it's easier to water down, so it's not that much of paint to water down. Okay, let me, yes, let me dry my brush. Let me see. Let's take a little bit of paint on this. See, now it's not, can you see my paintbrush? So it's not a huge blob of paint anymore. See? This is what you want. Okay? So, again, water on your brush. There we go. Water on that brush. A little bit of black. Just on the bristles, nothing else. Yep. And start with the top of the T. Start with the top. And paint. Try and stay in the lines. Now, if you go out of the lines, is that a big deal? No, it is not. That's why it's called hand lettering. And you might need to refill your brush after pretty much almost every stroke. Now your black might not look very black right now.
But what looks?
It's good. So we're gonna do one coat, all letters, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do it again.
Another coat.
Yeah, it might take two coats. Do not push on your brush very hard. Just use the bristles and let the...
What's a bristle?
The bristle is the brush part that's hairy. And allow the bristles carry the paint for you. If there is no paint to carry, that means that you need to refill your brush. Just, yeah.
Or does this look
maybe
more like
it's fine. Just do the, there is a line, hon, over here. Here. Like this. Okay? And don't, wrong pull. Dry, clean on the paper towel.
But I did the right amount.
And use that one, okay? So, what was I saying? Yeah, don't try to make it all black right away from one go. It will take a couple of coats.
So
and that's fine.
2 coats.
2 is couple is 2, right? Even if it looks uneven, look, mine is very uneven paint.
Look how uneven mine is.
Yeah, it's fine, because we're gonna do another coat, and it's all gonna level out. It's all gonna look great in the end. Most paintings look awful until like the last 5 minutes. And then in the last 5 minutes, they kind of come together and it all looks great again. Okay. Okay. I know I had a couple of people respond to my email today, this morning. So I asked you guys if it would be okay with you if we moved this to a Facebook group. and this way regular people would not have to register over and over again, and you guys can just be in a Facebook group and just I'll post the events there, and you can just hop on lives right there because you already registered as our participants. So I was trying to figure out if that would be...
Do you like it?
Yes. Okay, Bogdan, we're gonna let it dry a little bit, okay? Because there's a lot of paint there, and it's gonna pull paint. If you would paint on top of it right now, it's gonna pull it. So rinse out your brush so it doesn't dry out. Bless you. Oh, you're not using the liner I gave you. You were using the other one though. Okay.
That's
Please
the
don't
one
pull
I
on
did.
that, honey. Please don't pull on that. Thank you.
I gave you back the liner.
Okay. And so why I'm thinking Facebook group is because when I go live in a Facebook group, it creates a recording that people can replay at any time, and that will allow me to just have one camera on my desk instead of having two cameras and a computer. So probably that would be a little bit easier on my end, and it will also give you guys a chance to have a replay if you need it. Or if, like, let's say you couldn't make it on that day, but you still want to do this project, you can still do it. So trying to figure out the best way for this to work for everybody. Okay, I'm on my last letter. How are you doing? Show me on your fingers, how many letters do you have left? I have one letter left. How many do you have? Reese, beautiful work. Good job.
This is how many I have.
Bogdan has 0 letters. Can you show? Do you want to show in the camera like this? Yeah? Okay. Yay! Okay, put it down carefully. Don't smudge.
Boop, boop. Boop, boop.
All right. So if your letter T is fairly dry and if it needs a second coat, go ahead and start working on that.
Can I refill this little bowl?
Are we running out of paint?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're running out of paint in the little pool that we created, so I'm gonna put more thick paint on there. And then, so just to save time, I have these little bottles here, so I'm just gonna use this little bottle, and just goes a little bit faster when you're trying to mix paint. You can also use an eyedropper. That's a very useful thing to have in your kit with your brushes and paints and whatever you have. An eyedropper is very useful because you can just pull up some water, put it on your palette, and there you go. All right, here you go, Bogdan. Here's our new pool.
My tea needs a third coat on some part of that.
It's okay if it's not completely black, because we're gonna add some shading to it afterwards, and it's gonna look good. Okay, now if you, I'm sorry for the camera shaking all the time, Bogdan is being restless. So if you guys decide that you want to make this project on a piece of wood or something, or like a plaque, to put it on your front porch or something like that, I strongly recommend you guys get black chalk paint, acrylic chalk paint. Here I have some, let me show you. Looks like this, especially for the adults. Like I have another camera there, so I'm trying to show it into two cameras. So this paint, one coat, and you get perfect black. So if you wanna create something like this on a piece of wood again, or I don't know, or like a big canvas or whatever, that's great. That's a great black option. Whoa, now I'm hitting the camera. Bogdan's not being restless anymore, but I'm hitting the camera as I move. All right, honey, they can hear you. Stop it, please. Thank you.
Bye.
Are you done with your letters?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, sorta?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops. Okay.
Yeah. May I go now?
Are you finished with your project now? You're happy with what you're seeing?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Bogdan is done.
Bye-bye.
Okay, looks like Bogdan's had enough of art for today. Okay. So yeah, you probably noticed that the lettering takes most of the time for this painting. But I think it is so worth it to just be able to sit and do this and make it look very special. Yes, Bogdan?
Can't I have some screen?
No, not right now. Let me finish what I'm doing and then we'll talk about all the other things.
Okay. Yes, Mama.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, also I want to tell you, since you guys are my regulars, if you have ideas of what you want to paint, email them to me. You have my email. I'll be happy to see, maybe we could put them in our November. So I still have, oh, why did I say November? I meant October, because we're still in September. Oh my gosh. So if we, so we finish this one and then we do the basket of apples, and the next week is open for suggestions. When I see what I painted over the weekend, yes, I do want to see what you painted over the weekend, always. Oh my gosh. Could you hold it up a little bit higher? Up higher. Oh, wow. Wow, girl, you've been busy. That is beautiful. Oh my goodness, that is huge and pretty. Is that finished already or are you still working on it? Still working? Still working? Yeah. Wow. Yo, we have some artists in the group. Girls, that's beautiful. Okay. So at this point, I'm gonna let my letters dry. And I'm gonna go back into my brown with the same liner brush. Wash it out though. Wash it out. Gotta add some water to this. Okay. And I'm gonna add the skeleton to my leaves, the stem and the skeleton. So I'm gonna start from the very top where the leaf is connected to the stem of the pumpkin. And I'm gonna go down. And then I'm gonna add lines to it so it looks more like a leaf. Nothing major. A little bit more brown for the other leaf. And then I'm going to use this same brown and I'm going to outline the leaves the best way I can. So the trick here is to use very, very light motions. Do not push on your liner brush. Okay. Just a little bit goes a long way. Okay, and I'm going to line my leaf. Just gives it more definition and it will stand out against the pumpkin better. Shaking my camera as always. See how different that looks compared to the other leaf? So I imagine you could use red to outline the leaf. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with the brown. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to rinse my brush. Whoa! This setup doesn't work for me very well, but it shows very nice to you, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going with my same liner brush. I washed it out. I'm grabbing some yellow now. And I'm going to use my yellow on my acorns. If you don't have acorns, don't worry about this step. But I'm gonna add just a highlight on each acorn. And I'm gonna go on this side so that it shows that it's two different acorns. There, just like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and just add a tiny line over here so that those acorns are not flooding together. Okay, my acorns don't have any stems to them, so I better get back some of that brown and add some stems to my acorns. And then we are going to use yellow on the liner brush, and we're going to highlight our lettering. Okay, clean liner brush again. Clean. A little bit of yellow. Okay. And I'm just going to add little highlights here and there. Boys, not a good time. You need to do something else. Okay. And see, just here and there. Doesn't need to be all over the place. Light hand. Just a little bit. And so do you guys have gold? Give me thumbs up if you have gold. Do you have gold paint? Or thumbs down. Give me thumbs down. That's good. Up or down. No gold paint. No gold paint. Okay then. That's fine. Don't have to have it. So there. In there. And my L. Okay. You got through this? All good? Whoa. Okay, so I've rinsed my brush. Okay, last touch up. The last thing. I'm gonna use a little bit of brown, and I'm gonna add highlight to the vine, the curlicues that we did. So let me show you just with my brush, empty brush, like clean brush, no paint on it. So you want to go a little bit on the bottom, and then inside of the curlicue, the little loopy loop, not the full way, just a little bit, okay, like a smiley, and then stop, and then go a little bit more on the bottom. Make sense? I'm about to lose it, Bogdan.
May I have an answer?
No, you may not.
Ice cream?
No, you may not.
Okay. That's all.
Okay. Okay, so here I go. not good idea with my lettering still drying, so I'm gonna flip it upside down. So I'm gonna add a little bit on the side, and then I'm gonna do a little bit here. Oh, you know what? I lied. On the top. The last one goes on the top, because this is kind of the vine that kind of flipped upside down while it curled. Like that. I know, right? See what I did? So here, close up. Under the vine, smiley face, and then on top of the vine. And, oh! We're gonna do the same thing with the other vine. I'm gonna flip it again, turn it. I'm a turner. I'm always turning my work. And then a little smiley face, and on the top. Even if it's breaking up a little, it's fine. It's just to add a little bit of interest to it. And then the vines that we have on the bottom, I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna go under, and then I'm gonna highlight the top side, top part of the O, and then I'm gonna go the top. There, something like that. Make sense? Doing good? And I don't know if you have a last one, but I do. So I'm gonna do that inside and the top. All right. Our thankful pumpkin is complete. Give me thumbs up if you love it. You better love it. Do you know the choices to ask people when you're asking for an opinion from people? There's only two choices. Do you love it or do you like it? No more choices. All right. Well, this is it. I hope to see you next Monday. Am I going to see you next Monday for stamping apples? No? Yes? All right, girls. Thank you for hanging out. See you next week. Yes, I wanted to see. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to ask you to show me. Yes, I love them. They are surely thankful pumpkins. Pretty. All right. Bye. Bye, Reese. I see your hand, honey. Bye.